What's going on, guys? It is Punisher here, back at it again with a looting map tutorial a little bit. I don't know if you would call it tutorial. Actually, I want to call it looting map strategy. This strategy is basically a few areas on the map that a lot of people do not go to. I'll be teaching you guys a little bit about some uncommon loot spots, as well as some high-risk loot spots and some mild to common loot spots that you see a lot of players go to in the beginning of the game. Now, a lot of this has to do with just personal preferences from playing on Xbox One. I don't know if this would work on PC, so this is just take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not sure if that's going to help a lot for a lot of you players on PC. Now, I have 3 different color codes here for just to identify what is a common loot spot, what is a high-risk loot spot, and what is a common loot spot. For example, a high-risk blue loot spot would be the military base at the southern point of the map. That little island with the military base on it, that will be a high-risk one, being that if you go in there, you're basically going to have your risk of losing a gunfight. Same goes to school, a little bit more towards the center of the map. As for common loot spots, that would be Malta and Gatka, as well as some areas up north, such as Solverny and Stalber, as these areas are more commonly known as just your basic loot spots that you see people go into. However, now we have to come up to our yellow spots, which are our uncommon loot spots. These are areas that you'll rarely see players come to. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3 players will ever be at the spot in your solo match, or maybe 1 squad will be here at the beginning of it. That'll be the quarry and the whole area that surrounds in front of quarry, the eastern part of the map, Zolki, and Promisk. These areas are usually not filled with a lot of players, and a lot of this has to do with players just avoiding these areas because it's too far out. But if you ever gone to these areas, you actually get to find some good weapons. If you want to take the quarry, for example, I have found a Kar 98, M416, a lot of weapons that you would see in military base end up here. Now, it is a lot of guessing where your spot can be. I have been through many different ups and downs with these things. Yes, you might have a shot of getting some high risk or high value loot, but there's also that possibility that you're going to be too far out from the play zone. Now, if you really want to get into more of a tactical scenario with your team, I would probably suggest doing a lot of just surveying the areas when coming down to one of these areas. And that's only because you never know which team are actually going to end up at that uncommon loot spot. Because sometimes these uncommon loot spots become the high value target areas that a lot of players go to. And believe it or not, quarry may be an uncommon loot spot because of its style, but there's going to be times where you will end up fighting 1 or 2 people in the same area in one game. But yet, if you go to another game, you might end up fighting nobody. It really just depends on luck. And the same thing goes again with the common spots. You tend to fight maybe 4 or 5 people in the area and then end up being shot down from behind from another person that just happens to show up there as well. It's just, again, luck. When coming into these high-risk loot spots, honestly, I suggest avoiding them in general because you have a 1% chance of survival trying to find loot in these areas. Military base, school, or some of the main towns in the middle of the map are death zones at times because of how much people fall into those lines. Depending on the flight path, your option is to just avoid these areas and go with some of the common or uncommon loot spots because it's more easier to find things. Also, these uncommon loot spots are risky as well because you may not actually get a good weapon in the process. Sometimes these uncommon loot spots do only give you maybe a mini Uzi or a pistol at times, and those are just going to be some of the risks that you're going to be taking going into here. But majority of the time you do find some good weapons such as M4s, M416s, just stuff like that. Now, honestly, like I said, if you guys really want to try this out, I have down in the description is the copy of this map, so you can actually look it up and test it out in your own opinions. I'm going to try to do a one for these in Miramar if it's possible for me to get back on my PC and try to keep on doing this, what I'm doing. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and like and comment and share, and let me know if you find any good loot in these areas, because these are just some good areas that I enjoy personally. Anyways, guys, I am Punisher with this map looting tutorial, or I should probably say map looting strategy that I have found over the past 2 weeks of playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Hopefully you guys did use this map. If you guys did, a copy of it's going to be in the description down below if you guys didn't. And like I said, comment down below and let me know if you guys find any good loot in this area. Anyways, guys, I'm Punisher. Peace, and I'll be seeing you guys on the battlefield.